So you should now have your carrot painted and filled in and all the detail put on it with the darker colours. And remember, to get the darker colours, you just don't dilute the powder as much with the vodka. You still need it to flow and create a paint, but don't add so much vodka that it becomes a water sort of washed out colour. It needs to have a bit more consistency to it and be a bit more opaque. I'm just going to show you a quick little thing. If you're finding towards the end that the colours really aren't sort of blending and it's lifting off too much from the cake, it starts to pull away again, then if you take your paint, I'm just using a bit of the green around here, take your paint and make sure that it's it needs to have that flow, as I say, but it needs to be a bit thicker, not as watered down. So then you take it, and if you almost do a backwards and forwards motion, it helps the paint to stick to the icing a bit better, and where it starts to pull off, the backwards and forward motions helps fill it in and give you the line that you need. So you can see where I've got the paler green, the more washed out green, and the darker green. It gives you a real definition and depth to the leaves. If I pull it up so that you can see, it gives you a real definition to the leaves. It gives it more depth and 3D feel. And the same with the carrot. So on this edge I've chosen to make this darker, which gives it, on the bottom edge of the carrot, which gives it a bit more depth and slightly more 3D feel. It's entirely up to you how long you spend doing that and how much detail you want to give. So you could spend just a few minutes and have a very basic carrot, or you could actually spend a couple of hours to get it perfect. It's really up to you. So the next thing that you need to do, if we look at our design, you can see that where the dots, the piped dots start, the carrot actually goes slightly past the edge of those dots, so the band of dots sits within the shape of the carrot. So we need to now start marking where that line, that stripe on the cake is going to go. So the best way to do that, if you take a food safe straight edge, so this is a food safe metal rule that you can use. You could use a piece of greaseproof paper on the straight edge if you don't have one of these, but you want to line it up to make sure that the painting is dry. It shouldn't take too long to dry. So then line this up to the cake, and you can see the edge of the carrot, and then take it in a little bit, and then that gives you, if you rest it carefully on the dry iced board, make sure it is dry, otherwise it will dent it. Just rest it gently, and you can then just mark with a bit of the watered down black powder so that it's the grey, like we did with the outline. You can then mark just a couple of dots. You don't want many, but just a couple of dots, very faintly with your paintbrush, to be able to get a line. And then you want to place it on top, line up with those dots, and get an equal gap from the back and the front to the side, and again mark dots, and then go down the other side, and you want to do the other side of the stripe as well. So that then what you have effectively is a very, very faint pale dotted, so you want to water down, or use vodka, vodka down that black food colouring, and then just a few dots to give you your outline of your stripe. And I will see you at the next step.